God bless everyone. Today I bring you the extraordinary testimony of Evelyn Carter, a 41-year-old journalist from Los Angeles whose life was forever changed by an encounter that defies explanation. What she experienced was nothing short of astonishing, a journey beyond this world into a mysterious realm where she came face to face with none other than Marilyn Monroe. The revelation she received in that moment unraveled truths about fame, vulnerability, and redemption that will leave you questioning everything. Now, I will read Evelyn's letter exactly as she shared it, and together we will uncover her sin and the profound reason why Marilyn Monroe was there. My name is Evelyn Carter, and for over a decade, I have made a career uncovering the hidden stories of Hollywood's elite. My reputation as a journalist was built on relentless ambition, an insatiable hunger for the next big scoop, and a willingness to do whatever it took to get it. I lived for the thrill of exposing secrets, unraveling scandals, and pulling back the curtain on the glamour that captivated millions. I was celebrated for my work, invited to the most exclusive events, and surrounded by the allure of fame and fortune. From the outside, it seemed like I had everything, but beneath the polished exterior, I was running on empty, a prisoner of the very world I had spent my career dissecting. I wasn't always like this. I grew up in a small town, raised in a family that valued faith, integrity, and compassion. Sundays were spent in church, and my parents often reminded me that truth was sacred, not a weapon to harm others. But as I entered the world of journalism, the glittering lights of Hollywood and the promise of success drew me away from those values. Stories became currency, and the more controversial, the better. I learned quickly that in the cutthroat industry I had chosen, morality was a luxury I couldn't afford. Little by little, I drifted further from my spiritual roots, convincing myself that what I was doing was just part of the job. After all, someone had to tell the world the truth, no matter how messy it was, right? My lifestyle mirrored the choices I had made. Late nights at celebrity parties, whispered exchanges with sources, and constant deadlines consumed me. I thrived on the chaos, yet I couldn't ignore the gnawing emptiness that grew inside me. The more secrets I uncovered, the more disconnected I felt from my own. I justified my actions by focusing on the accolades, the bylines, and the exclusive access that defined my career. But in the quiet moments, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had become a voyeur in a world I didn't truly belong to. The truths I exposed were never my own, and the compromises I made left me feeling adrift, as though I had lost a part of myself along the way. I had no idea how close I was to being confronted by the very truths I had spent years avoiding. My world was about to change in ways I couldn't have imagined. The day it happened, I had just wrapped up one of the most exhausting and high-pressure investigations of my career. I had spent months chasing leads, making tense phone calls, and sifting through layers of deception to expose a scandal involving one of Hollywood's biggest names. That evening, I returned to my apartment, drained in every way possible. My mind raced with deadlines and details, my body heavy with the weight of stress. In a haze of fatigue and desperation, I reached for the bottle of prescription pills on my nightstand. I told myself it was just to take the edge off, to help me sleep and face another day. But something inside me snapped, and before I realized what I had done, I had taken far more than I should have. As the minutes ticked by, I felt my body surrendering to the overdose, a slow and terrifying descent into darkness. I remember the sensations vividly, though they played out like a dream I couldn't escape. My breath became shallow and labored, each inhale a struggle. The sounds around me, my heartbeat, the hum of the city outside, grew muffled, as though they were coming from another world. The room seemed to dim, the edges of my vision blurring until all I could see was a fading tunnel of light. Then came the moment of detachment. I felt myself being pulled away, as though my body no longer belonged to me. It was as if I were hovering above myself, watching the scene unfold with a strange mix of fear and disbelief. My physical pain melted away, replaced by an unsettling calm that felt both alien and familiar. I wasn't in my apartment anymore, not in the way I understood space and time. I was somewhere else, somewhere that defied description. It was hauntingly beautiful, a realm that felt vast and infinite, yet deeply intimate, as though it knew me better than I knew myself. I was overwhelmed with confusion and fear, unsure of where I was or why I was there. But something, some unseen force, was pulling me forward, deeper into this unfamiliar place. I couldn't resist the pull, and for the first time in years, I wasn't in control. The further I went, the more I felt like I was heading towards something significant, something I couldn't turn away from. What was waiting for me in this mysterious place? I didn't know, but I had no choice but to find out. When I opened my eyes, or whatever I was using to perceive the world around me, I found myself in a strange, dreamlike place. The ground beneath me shimmered as though made of liquid glass, and towering all around were fractured mirrors suspended in the air. Each mirror was jagged and incomplete, reflecting more than just my own image. As I gazed into them, I saw fragments of truths I had buried deep, moments I had tried to forget, and dreams I had abandoned in my relentless pursuit of success. The mirrors felt alive, shifting and twisting to show not just who I was, but who I had been and who I could have been. The air was heavy with an eerie silence, broken only by the faint sound of my own breathing, which somehow felt amplified in this surreal space. As I moved through this unsettling realm, one reflection caught my attention. It wasn't my own, it was her, Marilyn Monroe. At first, I wasn't sure if it was really her, but as I drew closer, there was no mistaking it. She stood amidst the fractured mirrors, her iconic beauty radiating like a beacon. Yet, something about her was different from the glamorous images I had seen in countless photos and films. There was an air of vulnerability and sadness that surrounded her, as though the weight of her life had etched itself into her very presence. Her expression was wistful, her eyes carrying a haunting depth, as if she were caught in a perpetual moment of reflection. She exuded both the allure that had captivated the world and the sorrow of someone who had paid too high a price for it. Then, a voice filled the air, not spoken but felt, resonating deep within me. It revealed Marilyn's story in a way I had never understood before. I saw her meteoric rise to fame, her moments of triumph when the world adored her, and the quiet despair she hid beneath her dazzling smile. I witnessed flashes of manipulation and betrayal, the ways in which her trust was exploited, and the loneliness that consumed her in the end. It was impossible to look away, even as it felt like her pain was cutting into me. The parallels between her life and mine began to surface, forcing me to confront the choices I had made and the cost of my own ambition. The mirrors around me seemed to glow brighter, as if urging me to face the truth I had long avoided. What was this place trying to show me? And why had Marilyn Monroe become the guide through this haunting reflection of my life? I had to keep moving forward to find out. The space around me was like stepping into a dream, yet it carried the weight of a memory I couldn't quite place. The expanse seemed infinite, its boundaries lost in a haze of shimmering light. Suspended in midair were countless fractured mirrors, their jagged edges catching the faint glow that surrounded them. Each mirror seemed alive, reflecting not just images, but emotions, a distorted tapestry of beauty, ambition, and hidden pain. The reflections shifted as I moved, revealing fragments of stories I couldn't fully understand but felt deeply connected to. It was as if the mirrors were windows into truths that had been buried, moments of triumph entwined with the agony that came with them. The air itself was intoxicating, thick with a faint but unmistakable scent of roses and cigarette smoke. It was an aroma that spoke of glamour and fragility, a reminder of the duality of perfection and decay. The scent seemed to cling to me, as though it carried the echoes of a life lived under the weight of constant scrutiny. Around me, a soft hum filled the air, a mournful, almost melodic vibration that seemed to come from the mirrors themselves. Occasionally, it was punctuated by faint whispers, fragments of conversations long forgotten, and the distant, fleeting sound of applause. The applause wasn't joyous. It carried a hollow quality, as though it celebrated achievements that had come at too great a cost. The light in this space was as unsettling as it was beautiful. Fragmented beams danced across the mirrors, creating a constant interplay of brilliance and shadow. The brilliance captured moments of glory, the radiance of ambition fulfilled, while the shadows revealed the imperfections and pain lurking just beneath the surface. The effect was hypnotic, drawing me deeper into the expanse as the mirrors seemed to beckon me to confront what lay within. Each step forward revealed more of the tension between the allure of success and the reality of its price. I couldn't shake the feeling that this place was alive, that it was trying to tell me something, to show me a truth I hadn't been willing to face. What secrets lay hidden in this dreamlike realm, and what part of myself would I uncover as I journeyed further? I knew the answers waited just ahead, but I wasn't sure if I was ready to face them. As I stood amidst the fractured mirrors, their reflections swirling with fragments of truth and pain, a sudden radiant light pierced through the space. It wasn't just bright, it was alive, warm, and impossibly pure, flooding the realm with a peace that silenced the whispers and scattered the shadows. The mirrors that had once felt so overwhelming dissolved into nothingness, leaving only the light and an unmistakable figure standing before me. It was Jesus, his presence unlike anything I had ever experienced. He radiated infinite compassion, a quiet strength that seemed to embrace every part of me, my fears, my regrets, and even my unspoken longing for something greater. I fell to my knees, not out of fear, but out of a profound sense of humility and awe. In his presence, I felt truly seen, not just for who I was, but for who I could become. He spoke, and his words resonated deep within my soul. The truth is not meant to tear others down, but to build a foundation of understanding and compassion, he said, each word carrying the weight of a lesson I had ignored for far too long. Redemption begins with honesty, both with yourself and with those you touch. His voice was gentle yet unyielding, a call to confront the choices I had made and the harm they had caused. In that moment, flashes of my career came rushing back, the exposés, the secrets I had uncovered, and the lives I had upended in pursuit of the next big story. But instead of condemnation, I felt an invitation to change, to rebuild not just my life, but the lives I had impacted. The light around him seemed to grow brighter, filling me with a sense of clarity I hadn't felt in years. It wasn't too late to change. I could still use my voice to uplift rather than destroy. When I opened my eyes, I was back in my apartment, the familiar hum of the city outside grounding me in reality. My body felt weak, trembling as I realized how close I had come to losing everything. Around me, my friends hovered, their faces etched with concern and relief. They had found me just in time, pulling me back from the edge. But I wasn't the same person they had saved. I knew that much. My spirit felt renewed, filled with a determination to live differently. The exploitative tactics that had defined my career no longer held any appeal. Instead, I vowed to use my platform to inspire and uplift, to tell stories that built bridges rather than walls. Yet, even as I made this vow, questions lingered. Why had Marilyn Monroe been such a central figure in my vision? What deeper truths about fame, vulnerability, and redemption was I meant to uncover? The answers felt just out of reach, but I knew my journey was far from over. I had been given a second chance, and I was determined to find out what it all truly meant. As I reflect on this profound experience and the life-changing truths it revealed, I can't help but wonder, what do you think? Have you ever felt called to reevaluate your path or the choices you've made? What are your thoughts on the vision I shared, the presence of Marilyn Monroe, and the powerful message of redemption? I'd love to hear your insights and perspectives in the comments section below. Let's start a meaningful conversation about truth, compassion, and the journeys that shape us. I'm eager to hear what you think.